Hi there, welcome back to Build-A-Stitch. I'm going to do another way of doing a butterfly. So I'm going to start with the chain stitch body again, and I'm going to move this down just a little bit because I need a little more room, I think, than I had last time. So, chain stitch body. One more in there. Kind of coming in here with the dragonflies a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so there we go with our body. And now for the wings today, I'm going to do them as wrapped back stitches. So quite often, and I'm actually going to draw them on here, I think, my wings, because butterfly wings are often really big. Ooh, I'm going to run into that dragonfly. Okay, I might have to take that out because I don't really want to run into the dragonfly. Yeah, that's going to be okay because I can come in from that a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to back stitch, and I am going to do it just inside that drawn line there. I'm just going to use it as a little bit of a guide. It doesn't have to be quite that size. And that will help prevent me from running into the dragonfly. So the tricky thing with butterflies is that their wings really are pretty good sized. Quite often they're longer than their body, and sometimes, like, if you want to do a specific kind, you know, if you want a swallowtail, then you need the little protrusion on the bottom wing, and you can't just do that with a basic lazy daisy. So, I'm figuring out other ways of doing these wings. Dragonflies are easy. They're really easy to do just with a lazy daisy. Okay, so I got one. I'm going to do all the back stitching first, and then I'm going to do all the wrapping, I think. It doesn't really matter, but that's just, I feel like that's the flow I want today, and there we go. So I am varying the stitch length based on what I'm doing. So with this one, when I was going around the curve, I made the stitches smaller so that it was a smoother curve. I actually really like the way that turned out, so it looks good. And now I'm shortening them up again because I'm going into this curve. There we go. Yeah, there we go. The dog's getting fed. They're being quiet this morning about it, at least. Okay, and I am going to have this go all the way up the side of the butterfly. I could stop it where I was right there, but I'm going to go all the way up the side because they're usually only attached in like one place. Okay, there we go. Half a butterfly. Then I have to find my thread. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go on the other side here. I'm going to go just inside that circle again. You can probably tell I used disappearing ink, so it will not be a problem since I'm not stitching on it. And one of the things you could do if you really wanted is you could use transfer ink. You could draw your butterfly, use transfer ink, and then stitch on the lines. A lot of embroiderers will do that kind of a thing. For this kind of thing, I don't really want to do that, but it is a possibility. If you really want a very symmetrical butterfly, you can draw it with pencil, fold it in half, get your other sides so that they're identical, because these are not going to be identical, partly because I needed to not hit the dragonfly there. Okay, now down the other side, or the other wing. Okay, so now I'm back at the top. There we go. So I could leave it like this, but for me, if I'm trying to give the impression of a butterfly, I want that a little bit of a smoother line, so slightly more like the back, but that's really chunky. So I'm going to do this as a wrapped stitch. So I'm just gonna wrap my way around this. And that will give it that smoother look. You could do a different color if you wanted. For outlining, I kind of prefer just using the same color. But that's definitely designer choice. I'm going to go back down there and then come up over here. So you can really see partway through here how much of a difference this makes in that stitching. Go. Pop over to the other side here. Oh, I'm gonna run out of. Okay, I'm gonna not pop over the other side. I'm going to tie this off because I'm gonna run out. And I don't like running out in the middle of wrapping just because you lose that continuity. You can try to hide it and it sort of works, but it's just not quite the same. So here's a really good view of the difference between the wrapped and the unwrapped backstitch. So you just get a really nice smooth edge to it when you wrap it. This is going to be a long video. It is a long video today, except for a lot of the shorter ones. Lately the dragonflies were pretty short. the back here. Just trying to get around it is fun sometimes. There we go. And there we go, the last wing here. One thing I'm always trying to do is not to split the thread. Sometimes I do, and it's not that big of a deal if you do. I just try not to. There we go. Come on. There's a lot of bulk back there. There we go. Need to anchor that. Now I'm going to tie it off. And the wrapping doesn't add any bulk on the back. This is all just from the back stitching because you just pull it up and then it's all on the top. So there's the wrapped stitch there. And the one last thing that this little guy needs is some antenna. Can't forget the antennae. So there we go. So there is the butterfly with the wrapped back stitches. So I'm going to stop there for today. Have a fantastic rest of your day.